Good afternoon, Facebook followers. This is Half Man, Half Cichlid. I've decided to join in the controversy that was started by IFG, and there was a rebuttal from Ben Ochart regarding African cichlids. Of course, IFG stating that African cichlids have all these problems, and Ben, of course, giving his counterpoint of view, and I respect both. But I decided to take a different tack here, especially since I was mentioned in Ben's video as someone who exited the African cichlid scene over the last 1 to 5 years. I left in stages. But first let me say I loved African cichlids. They're beautiful, and what I'm going to talk about today is not defending African cichlids or trashing them, but I'm going to focus on my experiences since I left the African cichlids and branched out into other species. First of all, I want to say that I have found some beautiful specimens. I found a number of families, Geophagus, Vieja, Severums, Barbs, Gouramis, that are absolutely beautiful. And years ago, these fish were very hard to come by because we didn't have the internet, we didn't have online ordering, and we didn't have these companies practicing best practices in shipping to assure that we got the fish alive and healthy. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the fact that I've had this book, the Bench Aquarium Atlas, for about 35 years. I've had it in my bathroom for those 35 years, and occasionally I'll go through it, and there's always some fish that I love and that for many years, many decades, I had no access to. But today, with the internet and with dealers online like Wet Spot and Imperial Tropicals, two of my favorites, I can literally get any tropical fish that I want. Those in this book, and even new species that have been discovered since this book was written 35 years ago. So that's one thing that I'm really enjoying leaving African cichlids, is the ability to branch out and buy my dream fish that I looked at for decades. I do find that with the access to so many different species of fish beyond African cichlids, that I can get excellent colors, excellent selection. I can get fish that are in excellent health, going mail order, and from these reputable breeders. Some of the areas that I'm having particularly a lot of fun with are the Geophagus family, Vieja family, the Severums family, Barbs, angelfish, and the list goes on. Another reason that I enjoy veering out from Africans is the ability to have a planted garden, to add plants to my aquascape, like the one behind me. It's added a whole new dimension and beauty to my hobby, which I am really, really enjoying. Of course, that's nearly impossible with Africans because they tear the plants apart. I do find that with these other species of fish that I experience fewer losses and the fish live longer. And I think that's primarily because I haven't had to deal with aggression issues and dietary issues. I'm not sure I ever solved the the bloat problem totally. And in general, I think African cichlids live a lot longer. I mean, you know, once they age somewhat in the hierarchy within the aquarium, they start getting beat up, and that's when you lose them. Now I've got fish like red-tailed gouramis, which are famous for living to be 25 years, and other South American cichlids that easily live 12 to 15 years. So living longer, fewer losses is something that I really appreciate with my branching out from Africans. I also love the fact that for the most part, most of the families that I've mentioned, the males and females, have equal colors. The males may have longer trailers on their fins, but in the tank behind me, the Geophagus, for example, the males and females are gorgeous. And you know, I find this true of the Severums. I find it true of the Vieja. So equal colors between the male and female. I've gotten burned a number of times by buying young, guaranteed male African cichlids, as I know Ben has too, only to find out that they were females a year later. What else? I enjoy mixing regions. I mean, there are purists in the hobby who will only have Africans in a tank, or Central Americans, or South Americans, or barbs, or angels. I enjoy mixing different cichlids and other fish together to get the right combination of temperaments, the right combination with my planted gardens, the right combination of colors, and so on. With Africans, of course, you're pretty much restricted to an African-only aquarium. I mentioned already no bloat. I find the dietary issues to be much less with the fish that I bought after branching out from Africans. You know, I no longer have the case where there's the fish stuck in the corner not eating, or two fish in opposite corners not eating or getting attacked, not being sure it's the aggression, or not being sure it's diet. And while I'm talking about aggression, you know, cichlids will be cichlids, but in families like the Vieja, the Geophagus, the Severums, they're what I call communal cichlids. You know, you buy 4 or more, they live together, they form a hierarchy, one becomes dominant, and he'll occasionally nip, just do a little nipping of the back fins of those within that community, just to keep them in order, but very little aggression. And last but not least, and I realized this with the first fish I branched out from Africans with, and that's the angelfish. Having an aquarium where when I come down in the morning to feed my fish, the first thing I see is peace and serenity. And I don't have to worry about the fish sitting in the corners getting beat up, or finding a dead fish on the bottom that obviously has had its body slammed a number of times. So peace and serenity. Maybe it comes with age. I'm not sure. But when I look into an aquarium, I want to relax. During COVID, when we all had a lot on our plates and a lot of things to worry about, when I came down to my aquarium, the last thing I wanted to see was a cage fight. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you some of my thoughts on my experiences, again, over the last 1 to 5 years, as I began the journey of veering out of the African cichlid sphere and investing my aquariums. And I have about 1,200 gallons in my fish room, big tanks, medium-sized tanks, from 50 gallons to 500 gallons. Just wanted to share with you what if some of the joys that I've experienced in moving from Africans. Again, my intention is not to trash Africans. They're beautiful, they're interesting, but at times we are ready for a change, and I wanted to share with you some of the reasons that my change was particularly beneficial for me in my hobby. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed this video.